Made it. For some reason, technology always gives me a hiccup when I first start, but welcome in. We're doing some exciting crafts today, just having a little fun on a Sunday in the middle of summer. Hi, everybody. So, got a couple of things for you today. I don't think I've done a baseball tumbler live yet. I've been rolling out the videos so you can see them over the whole course of the baseball season, but I haven't done one live, so I'm going to show you some pieces today. I worked on the mosaic project from Michael's that we got last weekend. I know some of you went back and went shopping. I started doing mine from the ones that I bought with when I went shopping with my friend last weekend. So I'm going to share that with you. And time permitting, we will see if I can get over to that far corner there in the microwave and show you a little candle project. So we'll just see how much we get through, because I have a lot to talk about and a lot to share. So let's get started. Let's see. I don't think I have. Hi. I see people popping in. Hello. Hi, Mike. As you enter the room, I think there is a link in here to share with a friend, to invite a friend in. So if you could, or you are so inclined, it would really help my traffic if you could use the invite a friend in link and invite someone into this room with you. Plus, the more the merrier. It's nice to have some more people in here. We get a lot of different ideas and a lot more projects going. So if you can look around the room, I don't know exactly how to tell you where it is, but look around the room and see if you can invite in a friend. That would be awesome. And we'll get started on some projects. Excuse me. My throat's really scratchy today. I don't know if it's the weather. Hi, Pat. See if you can invite in a friend. Look around the room. I don't want you to end up kicking yourself out of the room, but if you can, look around the room and try and invite someone in. The first thing I was going to try and do is I was going to try and share an experience by screen sharing a picture with you today. I'm going to see if I know how to do this. I would really like to screen share. Just give me 2 seconds to see where it is. I don't see it anywhere, so I guess we're going to abort that project. But what I would like to tell you is that this weekend I did one of the things I have been wanting to do all summer, and I just didn't know the right recipes, and I didn't know this stuff, and that is make hamburger and hot dog rolls, because we buy them all the time. And I have this whole sourdough thing going and sourdough discard recipes and all that. So I tried a sourdough discard recipe for hamburgers and hot dog rolls, and it was amazing. So I was hoping I was going to be able to share, screen share and show you the pictures of them, but I don't really see where I can screen share. So I think I'll just post it after this event. I'll post it up so everybody can take a look at it. I think I'll start with the mosaic first, because that was one of the biggest things I talked about last week, were all the projects that I got at Michael's. So I wanted to, let me get the box. You'll recall this was the Michael's thing, one of probably 30 different products that I had gotten. So I cracked it out today and started to put it together. So I wanted to share that with you. Now, if there are mosaic doers in this room, I would love tips, because it was fine and it came out okay. But I'm going to show you a little bit of I'm going to show you the work, and then I'm going to mix up a little bit of the grout so you can actually kind of get an idea of the mess. Okay. So you saw the picture on the box. And I'm going to try and give you as much detail as possible. This is a spot where I have the glass glued to the jar. All right, so you can see there, we can see the whole, all the pieces of the glass in their entirety. So you can see how high it is and all of that. So this is the portion that is just the glass glued to the vase. So you can see that there. And then when I spin the vase around, I actually already mosaiced it and put the grout in here. So it's supposed to be, I'm sure, much smoother than it is the way that I have it done. But that's what it looks like with the grout in there. So, and it's not entirely cleaned off yet. So I put the grout in between all the pieces of glass, and then I cleaned off a majority of the glass. And then, like I said, here is where the pieces are glued, but they're not grouted yet. So I wanted to show you the grout. First of all, the pieces glued on fine. So here they are again with the grout done. And it goes part way around. So see that? And then I cleaned those off. But I'm going to show it to you. And while the grout dries, so I can get through that portion, we'll do something else. Then we'll come back and clean the grout off so you can actually see what the experience is like. I am sure that there's a new Mosaic studio down the street from us now. I am sure that they have a better system set up for like water and how to clean these off and maybe tools to smooth it. I literally just used what was in the box, the tools that were in the box, and the supplies that were in the box. Couple of thoughts. I could have used more glass because I would have wanted to fill in a lot of these spaces and use less grout by having it really tight together. But I was afraid I was going to run out of glass. So that's the first thing. Like I would have put it way tighter so that it looked more like a flower, so you can see what I was going there, but almost where they all touched. So that's a little far for me, but I was working with, in the project, supplies that I had. I had a little bit of blue left over, but not enough to make it like really tight. Again, if you're just joining, I'm going over my mosaic experience. Hi, Sherry. How are you? I'm going over my mosaic experience. This is not grouted yet, so you can see the full pieces of tile just simply glued to the vase. And then on the back side, I already filled it in with grout, so you can see it's solid and everything I think is supposed to be smooth, but it's not entirely coming out that way. So I'm going to show you real quick just the grout. Whoa, hopefully. Okay. The grout came in this little bag, and I'm sure there was plenty. I only have a little space left to grout on my vase, so I'm going to make the rest of this. I had done it earlier, so I could get a little bit ahead because I knew it was going to be wet and messy, and I wasn't going to be able to show you the whole thing. So there's the grout. Looks a lot like chalk, but no, it's grout here. And then, since I don't have running water, I have a little thing of water here. I'm just adding some water to that. Hopefully I didn't add too much because I don't have any more grout left to experience. Now, they did also provide gloves. I'll tell you what, between the glue sticking to the rubber gloves and the glue sticking to the grout, I was kind of losing my mind, so I ditched the gloves fairly early in the process. This is the little cup that came with it, and the spoon, as well as the sponge that I'm going to use. So like I said, what I was trying to do was stick in the confines of exactly what they gave me, so that I could be able to tell you if the whole kit in and of itself was like a finished project. If you're just joining, we're going over mosaics. While this dries, we're going to do a little bit of tumbler work, maybe a candle. And if you can, invite a friend to join us. The more the merrier. It'd be nice to have more people in the room to get ideas and input. And if anybody does mosaics, maybe they have some tips for me because I'm a little bit of a mess. So the instructions said to get it like toothpaste. So if you go to Mosaic studios or do them at home, that's what I'm getting at right now. That's my consistency. And if I overdo it, I don't have any backup because this is all that I have left. So I'm just going to keep it pretty stiff consistency like that. I guess it looks kind of like toothpaste. Yeah, I think that's fine. And there's nothing dry left in it. One point when I did the first batch, oh my gosh, I only wanted to make a little bit, and I accidentally put like so much water in it. It was a little ridiculous. Okay, so I'm going to take a big swath of that, And you can see where my tiles have not been grouted yet. And I'm going right in between every one of those stones. Now, like I said, it's a little between them. I really want them to be a lot smoother, but I have no technique yet. Zero technique. This is just, I got to figure out how to get it smoother in between the tiles. But, I mean, I've done tile floor before, but this is not a tile floor. Also, I want it to be really smooth in between the pieces of glass. But anyway, I'm covering the whole thing with this. See what I'm doing? And it's pretty thick. It's very thick. But for anybody who's wondering, it doesn't smell. You know, there's no scent to it or anything. Not that that is always an indicator of safety, but it is just grout. So what is grout? Like sand or something? I don't know. Cementish type stuff. It requires probably a little bit of dexterity. However, if you were doing this on a flat tray, I do feel like this would be, you could do this one-handed. You could place all of your tiles. And the only reason I mention that is because, like I've had some viewers who said, you know, I need some things for a different dexterity ability. And this would be a great thing. So if it was on a tray, it could sit on the ground. This vase was probably not the best first mosaic thing for me to try. I really wish I had started on the tray, but the tray was so much bigger than the vase. I didn't really want to go giant project. However, if you started on something flat because you have different, different dexterity ability, then I think you'd be perfectly fine doing this with different dexterity levels. So this is the part. So see what I'm doing here? Covered all the pieces. I guess this is a little smoother even than when the first time when I did the other side to show you what it looked like when it was done. But it's a little messy. That's what I got so far. If you're just joining, I can see, let's say, hi, Rachel. If you're just joining, invite someone in. Maybe they'll want to check out some stuff. Thank you for being here tonight. I had a great time doing this outside. It doesn't dry super fast. So I did it outside. Even the weather didn't impact it. It was really very, very nice project. Like I said, I wish maybe I had started on something flat. But look at that, just like icing a cake. It's so thick. Okay, hold on. All right, that's what we're looking at. That's the side I hadn't done yet. Here's the side I did do before we came in, and you can see it's like all the same level as the grout. This one wasn't, and so I just did this side just now for you guys to see how it comes out. All right, so per the instructions, this has to sit for a couple of minutes. Let me just make sure I've got all the pieces here. I missed a tile or two. It's hard to do it and share it at the same time. But we got it going on here. Well, now that I, started taking the stance of it's like icing a jar, it's coming out way better. I should have thought of that this afternoon. I heard a ding. That's Mr. Michael sending stars. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Anybody who doesn't know, stars kind of help keep the supplies going. It's a Facebook monetization thing there. All right. See that? So, per the directions, it has to sit for 5 minutes. If I could stop messing with it, we could have it sit for 5 minutes. But I can't stop messing with it because here's the problem I have when I'm doing this. And maybe if anybody does mosaics, please chime in with a little bit of knowledge into this chat. I will not be offended. I really want this to be super smooth between the glass. right? It kind of looks like I just mentioned icing. It kind of looks like I want it to be like really smooth. Every once in a while I can get one pass smooth, but in general I still have like a lot of choppiness in there. Is there a tool that like smooths that out? I'm doing the best I can with this tool. This is the one it came with. This is the same spoon that you use for resin too, by the way. It's because nothing sticks to it. Once it dries, you can peel it right off that spoon. All right. All right, so there we go. That's what I have for now. So there's, I just got it all grouted up. I'm going to let it sit for 5 minutes. I say that. And look, I can't stop. All right, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop screwing with it. It is 8:18, so I need like 5 minutes of drying time to make sure that works. Oops, sorry. Okay. All right, so while this dries, and when it's done, we will wipe off the extra. We'll wipe off the extra. And that's where we are. And there, like I said, there's the flip side. So hopefully it comes out equally as nice. But see how it's like a little lumpy there? Maybe if I did another pass. Anyway, it feels like the material of the grout is the same material as the vase. So I'm sure it's going to be super sturdy and stay very nicely put when everything's done. They give you a sponge to wipe off the grout. We're going to let that sit for 5 minutes. At 8:30 before we end, I'm going to show the grout result. And I'm just going to type that in here so that people who enter the room late know what we're up to. Okay. All right, let me clean off my hands real quick. All right, so that was one of the Michaels things. If anybody has even went specifically to Michaels to get that, let me know. Let me know if you tried it. Let me know how it came out. Shoot a picture in the room, anything. And we will see how mine turns out in a few minutes. In the meantime, I'm going to move this computer over here to this space. This is another table. I don't have this table set up all the time. I use this table when somebody's crafting with me, or I intend to use this table when I have a class or a lesson or something like that. I have a couple people over. But for now, I have a couple projects laid out, so I'm going to share them with you. So I haven't done a lot of resin work this summer, one because it's so hot, and I like the ventilation to be a little bit better. So I don't open the windows, the air conditioner's on, all of that. So now today, super nice, was outside doing all these projects. So poured a bunch of resin, put this in my curing box, and it seems to be ready for reveal, even though it hasn't been 24 hours. I'm not going to do anything with it because I'm sure it's not cured in its entirety, but it's pretty solid, and I really wanted to show it. So here I poured a resin star, and I will tell you, I don't think that the person I made it for is in this room. Oh, Rachel, thank you for noticing my craft room. I cleaned it today a little bit too. It needed it bad. Okay, so I poured this resin star, and let's pop it out. I haven't made these, but I have specific ideas of what I want to use this for later. That's a reason that I bought them. But I didn't ever want to waste something that I've made, so I have a very specific use for this star currently. It's a little bit soft. Hold on. Come on. Can't get it out. There we go. It's really, really pretty. All right, look at that. That came out really good. So what I'm using this for is we have an event for theater this week, and for the person that is directing it, it's her directorial debut. So I'm going to put the date of the event and her name and the directorial debut on the star with my Cricut, and have like a director's gift for the event on Friday. But boy, and our color at the theater group is green and black, so that really looks beautiful. It came out fantastic. What I want to do with these over time is I'd love to make these and put lights in them. So I have, oh, this isn't exactly it, but I have these 10 lights, small battery powered ones. I'd love to find a way to embed the lights in, I got a whole bunch of different sizes of these, and then have like a lighted array of them. So I don't know if it's ever going to work, but we'll get there. But boy, that one came out great. And when I get the words on it, I'll post a picture of it when it's done. I love it. Honestly, I want one for my desk. All right. So anyway, so that's a theater gift. If you're local, come to the cabaret next Saturday, 8 o'clock. If you're not local, I'm sure you'll see some videos or something of it from me. You can catch some little tidbits online. So I love that star. So this is the large one. I have 2 other sizes of them. They're like, I also want to make a set of red, white, and blue ones, but I haven't gotten there yet. And then the other thing I want to share with you, while this is still very wet, is show you one of the baseball tumblers. So I have made about 18 maybe baseball tumblers. I know there's 30. I thought I was going to do them all through the whole course of the baseball season, but now baseball season's whizzing by. The whole summer's whizzing by. And I still have a couple more to go. So here, I'm going to pick this up. Hold on. Try this here. I'm going to walk you over to my baseball corner. So here's my tumbler collection here. I just made the Rockies today, so you'll see that one going up. There's the Phillies from my Philly friends. That was the first one I made because, home team. But I have a couple more, and each one has a straw tumbler that's unique for the team. Cubs has a little cubby. Texas, well, in this case, because of the error, T-TAS, whatever, has a star. What? The Mets. Mike's chiming in down there. So I have those. And I'm just gonna make one right now since we're sitting here, and we have to wait for this thing to dry. All right, try not to hit my button. So I know I've mentioned these before, but let's go over this. I have the straw charms. I love the straw charms. I love giving somebody a tumbler that's not just a unique tumbler for them, but also a custom straw charm. So for this baseball set, I've been making all the different shaped straw charms and using them for my baseball tumblers. I think what I'm going to have to do, like next season or World Series time or whatever, give everybody their favorite team, start mailing out their favorite teams. But this one is for the A's. Since I was making that star already of the green, I have charms that match. Ooh. All right, so these matches that star, but I'm making it to match the Athletics. Originally, here's what happened anyway. I made the star out of the green. No, I made these. I mixed up the resin just to make these and ended up with that much left over. That's how good I measure. So here's the straw charms. Pop these out. These have excellent distribution of the glitter because I let it sit for 30 minutes beforehand. That looks beautiful. And then here's the other side. So this is a two-sided. I know I've shown you these before in the past, but I don't know if I've shown you the round one. And they line up and you glue them together. And then that's a straw charm that goes right there. And you saw all the other ones I just made for the baseball teams. Except I can't see it. Sorry, light's right in my eyes. So anyway, it's going to look like that when I have the ace thing on there. And for this tumbler set, I'm using UV DTF stickers. So they are permanent water resistant stickers that go on any of the surfaces, any of the tumblers, mugs. You can buy them in sets, or you can have them custom with your own art. and send them to a website, and they'll mail you DTF stickers to your house. So you can do it either way. I bought the MLB set. It was one for every team, and my tumblers are small, so I end up with a row of design that has to get cut off. And in cutting off one of the rows of the items, I end up with extra stickers that I've been using for the straw charms. So it's been a great set, and I always end up with leftover stickers. So at some point, maybe at Christmas time, I can make somebody an ornament with their team logo on it, because I cut off essentially 4 logos before I put it on the tumbler. These are in my UV DTF sticker folder on Amazon, all kinds of themes, right? So I've done Broadway shows, Beetlejuice, teams, characters. You can find a whole bunch of UV DTF stickers for just about any kind of setup. Some of them are just like winter, Christmas. I have some things already made for the holidays because I was testing out the stickers, and they really are beautiful, and it takes a lot to get them off. I have seen people test soaking mugs that they used it on in alcohol for like a couple of hours, and they can get them off that way. But otherwise, if you're just doing standard use, regular use, they're on your desk in a mug or something like that. It's been very, very tolerant, and I've had a great time with them. These tumblers are from Walmart. Sorry, I had a fingerprint on it, grout, of course. These tumblers are from Walmart. These are like the low end of the spectrum if you want to make tumblers with stickers, which make great gifts for teachers. We're heading back to school, send them in lunches and things like that. Well, if you have a cap on the straw. But these are 99 cents normally. At Halloween last year, I got them for 34 cents. That's why I did the baseball project, because I had like 30 to spare, more than the 30 to spare. So that's how I ended up starting that project for myself. So keep an eye on Walmart. These are the cheapest tumblers. And then I have a whole spectrum of tumblers where they're like, a Stanley tumbler, which can be $20, $30. I wait till they're like on sale for as low as I can get them. But this is great for volume. So also, if you've seen the videos on my pages, I've done them for rock. I did a rock and roll theme at work. I did a rock star theme because everybody's a rock star, and I did a whole bunch of them, and it cost me so little. So if you have, a band group, or you're a PTA parent, you can make your own stickers, have them printed and delivered, but the process is the same. So I'm going to show you that real quick. The sticker itself has a backing. Just give me 2 seconds. Of course, when I want to get it off, it's like, no, it's not coming off. They really are easy to remove, except for when you're talking in front of 40 people. Okay, so there's the sticker. The back comes off the sticker. See that? So there's the sticker. And then I put it on. Where is the camera? Okay, I just put it on. Rub it on there. It's a little off center because I was trying to get it in camera. And then this top layer comes off of this. Right? So see that? So that's permanent, waterproof, like the whole bit. Sometimes, and I have been doing this with the baseball ones, I put clear UV resin and then put it under the UV light so that it's really not coming off. And let me do the other side. I'll show that to you again. Oh, crap. Okay. I want to get this one centered. The other one's cockeyed. All right. See that? And then this peels off. Honestly, if you're not a designer and you don't design your own stickers, they have so many. It looks awesome. They have so many themes. And then I'm going to, when I connect those two and glue those two, that's one side, that's the other side. Beautiful. Okay. And then the process for getting it on the tumbler is the same deal, except it's it's a larger surface area. So you need to take off the back. Come on. It really is easy unless 40 people are watching you, and then you can't do it at all. Okay. All right. Let's sit and chat. It's coming. So when you're using a big sheet like this too, you want to make sure when you pull that big sheet away that you get all the pieces of the sticker. Because if anything stays behind, you want to make sure that you roll it back up and get all the pieces. Now, if you watch these online, some people make a tent and roll it out in all these specific ways. I can't deal with that. So I just center it on my cup. Rub it on in both directions. You can also use your Cricut little rub thing. When you rub on letters, it's the same process as rubbing on Cricut vinyl letters. Right? I mean, then there in and of itself, it looks like it's good. But this outer layer needs to get peeled off. And that was pretty good. See how they're all lined up? Like you won't even be able to tell when I take off the outline. But you have to take off that outer edge there. So I'm going to find the seam and I'm going to pull this all the way off. See that? It's so easy. And I think I sent my mom. She liked, what did I send you, Mom? Sunflowers, I think. Sunflowers and on tumblers and this little holder and the little rubber. And it's so, you end up with such a professional looking project. I'm just doing this slowly because if any piece stays behind, I'm going to want to go back and lay it back down and scratch it back on so it doesn't, so I don't miss anything. There we go. Almost done. Ah! Perfect! Alright, so there you go. You got to see one of my baseball tumblers, and now I'm one tumbler closer to having a complete set. And then I will glue these pieces together, and it will also have a beautiful matching straw charm. It matches its logo colors. So lovely. There we go. Awesome. All right, so should we go back and see how the grout is? Look, we know how the grout is. The grout's going to mess. The grout's going to be a mess, so let's just do it. All right, so we waited a couple of minutes. I have this sponge came with the set. I'm going to put a little water in a cup because I'm going to need more water, I have a feeling, for the sponge. And I'm just going to go in and we're going to clean off the tiles. The other thing is, because it's not totally dry, as I do this, I am smoothing out. Remember I said I wanted the grout to be like not lumpy? I am smoothing it out a little bit because of the water. So that's actually beneficial to smoothing out that grout. Let me stand up so you can see it a little better. All right. This is not making me mad. Uh-oh. I just plucked a little bead off. All right, we'll deal with that later. Oh my. So there's a lot of grout coming off there, but... All right, this flower is starting to reveal itself. See it there? All right, what I'm going to do... Oh boy, still wet. All right, but it's coming off it does come off the tiles pretty easily. I'm just also a little concerned because I want it to be smooth around the tiles. Back to the sponge. The other thing, I found myself using like every last tool to try and get the stones to look good when I was doing the preparing for this and doing the other side. So now I have Q-tips out, I have cotton swabs out, I have paper towel, I have like everything out. I don't know what I'm doing, but I think it's coming out pretty nice. I feel like they could have gave me some more tools and a little bit of information about smoothing out the grout. But in general, I am not mad at it. It's pretty nice. Got one, we did lose one bead though. I gotta figure out I'm gonna glue that back on. And then that's the one that I just did now, and you can see it's really wet. So I'm gonna let it dry a little bit longer and then clean the rest of these off. So what I'll do, see how it comes off of that glass though, super easy to expose it. It's just everything else is so wet. All right, getting there. So if anybody else bought the Mosaics, I would love to see what your result was. I know I have a couple people on here who do Mosaics. I have one friend who goes to like a Mosaic studio occasionally and does like gifts there and whatnot. I have every intention of going into Schuylerville and doing that Mosaic lobby down there, studio. Do you need to heat that? If you're referring to the UV DTF sticker, you do not need to heat that. However, if you have those stickers and they start to age and it feels like it's not sticking entirely to the glass, you can heat it when you're peeling off the background, put it on the glass and heat it on that too. So that will kind of activate the stickiness and will work fairly good for you if something like that happens. But in order to apply it and to get it to, if it's good, stored properly, and you get it on there and it seems fine, you would not have to heat it up normally. No. I hope that was your question. If you mean heat this up, no. There's a lot to get off here, so I'm going to leave it at that. But I'll finish the rest of this because we're past my 30-minute allotment of spending time with you this evening. But I'll take the rest of this off. You can see there's still a couple covered in the bottom there. I got most of those uncovered. I have a bunch covered down here in the bottom. I'll clear the rest of that off, and then I'll put it on my little spinner and give you a glamour shot of the vase, of the Mosaic vase. But it's coming along good. I think you get a pretty good idea of what it's like when it's wet. Yeah, I mean, you got some cleaning to do, but also because I did the other part, easy to clean up, washes right off your hands, no smell, a lot of fun, and gives you just some peace. It's a peace and quiet of a project. I think I could go, if somebody gave me a pattern, that would be cool. But I just kind of winged it. I just did whatever I wanted. A pattern might be nice too. I heard another ding. Hi, Pat. Thank you so much for the stars. Appreciate it. Yay. Well, thank you for your time, everyone. Again, if you have any pictures or did this same project based on our conversation last weekend, let me know. Shoot some pictures to me or put them on my page. I'm sure we would all love to see them and share with them. Also in this space, I put a link to my Amazon page, which has all boxes for all different kinds of projects. So you'll see UV DTF stickers, you'll see tumblers, you'll see these kinds of projects, you'll see resin supplies and projects, and just a lot of things that I've been working on lately. So everything on my page is stuff that I use and stuff that you see on here daily, if not more frequently than that, a couple times a day. So thank you for your time. Have a great week, and I will see you online. Take care. Bye. Look, I'm all covered.